Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Miss Crochet and Coffee here, and today we are working on a whip and chat, so get out whatever it is you're working on. Work along with me. I am still working on my LED swans. I will have the canvas link down below. My pen is from Harp's Custom Creations on Etsy. I will also link her down below. The other pens are from like Diamond Art Club and Follow the Grain on Etsy. I of course will have all of those linked down below because I always get asked what am I using. Also for my containers, I'm using Harbor Freight containers, which at this point in time I believe are only available in store. So if you would like to get those, you would have to go to a Harbor Freight or find someone that is willing to send them to you if you're out of country. So with that said, I hope you all have had a great week. I miss talking to you guys. Oh, good gravy. It has been a while. The last whip and chat I did was a continuation of the tag that I was answering, and then there was like a short whip and chat as I waited for Minna and them to get here. Now let's talk about Minna's trip. Minna took a journey with her grandmother, would be her step grandmother, which is Mr. Coffee's mom. Mr. Coffee's mom lives about 4 hours away from Minna, and so she offered to pick up Minna for us and bring her to us here in North Dakota because she wanted to come visit as well. So we were, of course, happy to oblige. And so we had them make the trip this way. They did end up showing up on Friday. It was late Friday evening. So I was very happy to see that they got here safe and sound. Mr. Coffee's mom stayed for a couple of days. It was really, really nice to have her here. We haven't seen Mr. Coffee's mom. Like, I personally haven't seen Mr. Coffee's mom in probably about 6 years. Mostly because they moved out of state. Well, they didn't move out of state right away. They moved to like the Pittsburgh area back when I first had Orion, and then they eventually moved to Ohio. So I haven't seen Mr. Coffee's parents in a while, or his mom. So it was nice to see her again, and we took her on an adventure with us to the Badlands. Now, if you guys remember the Badlands the first time, that's where we go see the buffalo. And you guys were telling us, what the difference between a buffalo and a bison was on that last whip and chat. We did get to take her there because we did want her to see, that stuff because she loves geology and stuff like that. So she was just in awe. It was like, she was like a little kid at the candy store. It was hilarious to watch. And we all fit into my car. Now, the only problem is my car has some issues. Now, let me explain. When I say issues, my car runs perfectly fine. So if you have a mechanic friend, if you're a mechanic or somebody that knows a mechanic, here, help a sister out here, okay? So my battery died. Why? Because the kids left the dome light on in my car. My car sat in the garage for 3 weeks without being ran because, again, I don't go anywhere. My car sat in the garage for 3 weeks without being ran, and then I didn't notice that the battery had died until 3 weeks later. So, then when the battery died, we recharged it. I bought a recharger. I recharged my battery. Everything was working perfectly fine again. The battery's still good. We took it to the shop and they were like, battery's good. Just make sure you're taking and watching for that dome light because this is the second time that the dome light has killed the battery. Thank you, Maggie, because I'm pretty sure it was Maggie. Why? Because usually it is Maggie. Orion doesn't touch anything. Maggie, you guys know, Maggie got sticky fingers. It's like her fingers have like double-sided adhesive on them or something. So anyways, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, we can take my car because my car will seat everybody. My car seats up to, 3, 6, 8 people. I have a Toyota Highlander, which I need to make a sticker for that says there can only be one. If you get the joke, you get some cool points. So you can tell me what show that's from. Anyways, so my car is working perfectly fine. The only problem I'm having is now I have a 2010, so it's an older vehicle. Well, not too old. It's like 10 years old. Anyways, I love my car. I really love my car. I don't want to get rid of my car. I absolutely love my car. I love everything about my car. It is so me. I love it. I love it. I love it. Her name is Brooke. She is built like a brick house, and I love her. She got some junk in the trunk, and the car fits me, okay? The problem I'm having is I have a navigation disc. Killian, stop scratching. I will tell you all about the scratching thing here in a few minutes, but I have a navigation disc that goes into my car. Now, every couple of months or usually it's once a year, I'll have to go find the disc that I need, the newest version of it, to buy for my car. So, and no, I bought my car used a couple of years ago. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. I bought my car used. So there's no they send me out a disc every year or anything. I have to personally buy the disc. And if they do send me out a disc, I need to get a hold of somebody to, send me the disc. Anyways, what is happening is my car's asking for the navigation disc. But the 3 that I have, and yes, I have 3 of them, the 3 that I have won't stay in the disc player. And essentially, it has locked up my radio. So I cannot listen to the radio in my car at all. None of the buttons work. I can't put in my auxiliary cord. That doesn't work. My Bluetooth doesn't work. And it's all because of the security feature on my car. Now, I would have to drive it 2 hours to Dickinson to have it looked at. I'm not about that life, because that's a 4-hour round trip to figure out what's wrong with my car. And if they can't figure it out, then I just wasted all that time and money for nothing. If they do figure it out, I'm worried that I'll get ripped off. It's kind of like a PTSD thing from back when I lived in Pennsylvania, and every time I would take my car somewhere, I was constantly, like, the mechanics, they were constantly trying to rip me off because of, 1, I was a woman, and 2, you know, they didn't think I knew what I was talking about. Like, they didn't think I would check my air filter to see if they changed it. There was one shop in Pennsylvania that whenever I would take my car there, they would never change my air filter but charge me for it. And then the one time I caught them not changing it and charging me for it, and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry, you know, let me change that for you. I thought we changed it. I'm like, no, but you had no problem charging me for it. Anywho, so I was like, I need to figure out what's wrong with this. So me and Mr. Coffee spent a good portion of the day yesterday trying to figure out what's wrong with my radio, because on that drive, luckily, because we hadn't seen his mom in so long, we all just talked the whole way there and back. It's only like a 45-minute trip to the Badlands, the north side of the park. Now, if you go to the south end, that's a 2-hour drive. And we were going to take that drive the next day, but then we decided we were too tired from taking and going to the north end that we would hold off on going to the south end until she came back to visit, because she'll be back to visit probably in a month or so. So that she's thinking about moving up here because she really liked it. And I don't know if she believed us when we said that there's like not a really humidity here, but there really isn't humidity here. As much as I fuss about North Dakota, I absolutely love living here. And we showed her, you know, some of the reasons why we like living here and, you know, what we like to do and all this. And she absolutely loved it. So she possibly could be moving up here, which would be great because then the kids get to see their grandmother and they'll have family close by, because we don't have any family anywhere near us. So, you know, Papa and Nana, my parents, are moving to Alabama here soon. Their house was just built, and they're going to be moving out of their house in Pennsylvania soon to drive and move down to Alabama. So we don't have any family or anything close, and so it would be nice to have family close. So she's thinking about moving here, and we took her to the Badlands and to the North End. And it wasn't bad. The weather was really nice. The weather cooperated, which it was like a perfect day. Like, the weather cooperated. We went out for dinner. What did we get for dinner that night? I don't remember. We got something for dinner that night, but we got home and I was worried because, you know, I'm always worried when people come to my house because I have big dogs. And some people don't react the best to bigger dogs. Now, Mr. Coffee's mom is a cat person. She likes cats. She has cats. She likes dogs, but she has cats. And so I'm like, you know, how is she going to react? Because it's a different world when you go into your house and you have cats. Then you come into my world where there's large dogs. I mean, my motto is, don't stop. If your dog comes lunging at me to, like, love on me, don't stop the dog, okay? If this is the way I go out, I'm perfectly okay with it. I have accepted the fact that a large animal might come up and want to cuddle me to the point where I am, like, knocked unconscious. I'm okay with this. But I don't want that to happen to other people when they come to my house because, again, I have big dogs and they love people, especially people that come into the house. If they deem you a good person, Killian will try to physically hug you. And he will jump up and he will wrap his arms around your waist and he will nuzzle his face into your shirt. Daisy will sniff at you. She'll sit down and just continuously paw at you until you pet her. So, like, my dogs are the type of dogs that, you know, they will love you to death, literally. So I was worried about it, but she did just fine. She wasn't scared of the dogs. Like, she came up to them and let them pet her. And the night that they came in, Daisy was going nuts at the door. And I'm like, what is wrong with this dog? Why is she going crazy? Let me see if she needs to go outside to go to the bathroom. Well, here she saw Minna. And I guess that's what made her go nuts, was the fact that she saw Minna and them pulling up. They were trying to scare us, but Daisy saw Minna pull up and was like, oh, Minna, chicken dinner. So yeah, like, that was great. But anyways, but we had a great time at the North End. We took lots of pictures because, of course, Mr. Coffee's mom has never been there before, and neither has Minna. And so they were just like enjoying the sights, and we got to walk around a little bit. It was great. We didn't get to go to the South End with his mom again because, you know, it was just such a long day the day before, and she had to leave the day after we went, or what was it? She would have had to leave the next day, and I didn't want her sitting in the car for that long and then having to make a 22-hour trip home. So we were just like, we're going to hold off. We'll take Minna. Now, we were worried about taking Minna because Minna doesn't seem like a outdoorsy person. I am currently trying not to drive her nuts by following her around and going, can I do something for you? Like a creeper, because that's all I want to do, because I'm not used to the kids being self-dependent. Like Orion is pretty much for the most part dependent on nobody. He can pretty much do everything for himself. Maggie, on the other hand, I think it's always that last child that you baby because you know it's your last child. Like I remember my friend with her daughter, her youngest daughter, she would treat her youngest daughter like a baby. She was like 8 or 9 years old, and I'm like, stop babying that kid. Like, it's easier said than done, folks, okay? I don't even know that I'm doing it, and I'm doing it. Just like with the dogs, I tell them to stop acting like big babies, and then I'm sitting here going, oh, it's a Daisy Doodle. Oh, it's a Kickin' Jones. And they're both looking at me like, what? But it's hard. So, like, I'm not used to having, like, an older child in the house. So, like, I'm like, with Maggie, I go, hey, you want to play something? Or she'll come up and go, Mommy, can we play something? And I'm like, all right, cool. Let me finish what I'm doing, and then we'll go play. With Minna, she doesn't want to play anything. She just wants to sit and play on her phone and drink Starbucks. And I'm like, you know what? I will start you a Starbucks IV if I have to. We found out yesterday that the little boy, Lloydell, that used to walk our dogs, works at Starbucks. So even better. He never got a chance to meet Minna because he stopped walking the dogs before Minna, you know, came to visit. So he never really got a chance to officially meet Lloydell or Minna. But I found out yesterday because I went to go get Minna a Starbucks drink. Some kind of Okkkkk berries. I don't freaking know. Strawberry splash. I don't know Starbucks. Like, I don't speak Starbucks. She goes up whenever she's here and she's like, can I get a venti? And I'm like, what's a venti? And she's like, it's the size of the drink, Mom. And I'm like, well, what the hell size is that? Like, what happened to small, medium, and large? Like, what is the world coming to where you can't get a small, medium, or large coffee? And she goes, here, they call it venti. And I'm like, is this like Italian or something? Like, am I missing something? I don't speak Starbucks. I speak craft, but I don't speak Starbucks. There's lots of languages I speak. Ebonics, broken English, all that kinds of stuff. I don't speak the Starbucks, apparently. And I just put my finger all up in that glue up there. You see that little spot right there? Don't even worry about it, because all I gotta do is take a baby wipe to it, and it's good as new. Anywho, so we did have a great time with Mr. Coffee's mom. And like I said, we were worried about taking Minna to the South End by herself because she doesn't seem like the nature type. Like, she's been to camp before. She used to go to camp. Well, she would have been at camp now if it wasn't for the fact of the pandemic, because we didn't expect her to come up to visit this year because she was supposed to go to camp. But because of the pandemic, the one good thing that came out of it was that she was eventually able to come up and visit. And of course, they were safe the whole way up here and back. We've been quarantining in the house. We haven't been in a whole lot of places besides like the Badlands. So, and when we went to the South End, there was a whole ton of people there, and I'm sitting there going, did we miss a holiday or something? Like, like, you ever go somewhere and there's more people there than you usually see there, and you're like, did I miss something? So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. And the gift shop was open, and I was so excited because we didn't get to see the gift shop last time we were there because it was closed. I'm thinking we went too late in the day because essentially the town itself was just a ghost town. So after Mr. Coffee's mom left, and we, of course, like I said, she got home Thursday night, I believe. Thursday or Friday night, she got home. And we were, you know, take that breath of relief because she made it home safe and sound, no problem. But she is super excited to come out and visit again, or come out and stay here. So we're excited because we got her to get one of the Echoes so she can talk to me and the kids, and mostly the kids, and Maggie mostly because Maggie's been like attached to her hip since she saw her. So she's excited about, you know, possibly coming up and visiting it and everything. And Maggie's excited because the entire time Maggie, she was here, Maggie was, I don't think I've ever seen Maggie. Why do kids behave better for other people than they do for their parents? Like, why? Maggie was on her best behavior. Like, she had a couple of moments where she was just kind of like, she let that inner demon slip out, and she was just like, ooh, let me tuck that back in. But for the most part, she was great when Mr. Coffee's mom was here. She was helping her cook and bake and all this other stuff, and like asking her questions and playing. She was so good. And then as soon as she left, she like unleashed the monster and was like, when is Minna leaving? I want my room back. And I'm like, what? Now the kids both have their own rooms, but when Minna comes to visit, Minna stays in a room with Maggie. Maggie's upset because Maggie likes to play in her room. Maggie likes to play all over her floor and everything else. And she can still play in her room. She just has to, Minna has to push up the air mattress. But the problem is Maggie wants to play on the air mattress, which she hasn't seen in a year. It magically disappeared one night when she was sleeping and then magically appeared one night when she was sleeping. Because what we did was we put it away and then, we brought it back out whenever Minna came. So she was upset because she wants to sleep on the air mattress, but we won't let her because the last time we let her on the mattress, she was jumping on it with the dog and Killian ended up poking a hole in it with his nails. I don't know how he keeps sharpening them to a razor sharp point, but apparently he does, and one of his claws had gotten into the mattress and put a hole in it. Now, if you ever get a hole in your air mattress, if you don't know how to fix it, this is what you do. Save yourself a couple of bucks because it was going to cost me $66 to replace that air mattress. And I was like, oh no, Jesus, take the credit card. No, I'm not paying that for a mattress. Now, when I got the mattress, it was on sale. I paid $30 for a queen size mattress, which was on one of those weird random deals that Amazon usually runs. Well, it's not on sale anymore. So now it's $66. And I was like, no. But I found a way that you can fix it for $2. Now, a lot of people would think fixing something, you put duct tape on it. Well, duct tape don't work for everything, folks. It definitely can't fix stupid, and it can't fix an air mattress. So here's what you do. You got to find something that can handle air being pressed up against it, like a bike tire. So what we did was we went to Walmart, got a bike tire repair kit, and it cost us probably about $2. And we found where the hole was. Mr. Coffee marked it, I guess, on the air mattress with a Sharpie. He put some arrows to it, like we weren't going to be able to find it or something. But he put some arrows where the hole was, and he took the bike repair kit and patched up the hole. It's been working perfectly fine ever since. No deflating, no nothing. So I was like, sweet. We were able to fix the $30 air mattress for $2. I can deal with that. The air mattress only ever comes out anyway, plus when Minna's here. So I'm not really worried about it being out for, Maggie to play with too long. But Maggie wants to play on the air mattress and do all the things and sleep on the air mattress. And she essentially has kicked Minna to her bed. And Minna's just like, I don't care. I just want to, like, Minna has this, I think it's a teenager thing where they're just like, I don't care about life. I don't care about anything. Just give me my phone and coffee and I'm fine. Now, I don't like the fact that she drinks coffee and some of the drinks that she drinks from Starbucks. But this is what she's allowed to do at her dad's house. So I can't, be like, no, you can't do that. You stop drinking that. So I don't fuss at her too much. Plus she knows, she has a pretty good head on her shoulder. So I don't really need to tell her how to do things. She knows what she's supposed to do and what she is and isn't allowed to do. It's just weird because I'm not used to having an older kid in the house. So anyways, let's get back to the Badlands story. Sorry, that kind of went all over the place. So, we go to the Badlands and the gift shop was open and we decided, okay, this is a good place because we drove the 2 hours to the south end. And we're like, this is a good place to stop. And because that's where you're supposed to check in. And so they can check to see if you pay for a pass to go into the park. And we have an annual pass. So we don't have to pay. We just have to show them the annual pass and then we get to go through. But we were like, we're going to go to the bathroom and try to check out the gift shop if it's open. And so we went to the bathroom, checked out the gift shop, and everybody got something. Orion got a prairie dog, stuffed animal. Maggie got her another little baby buffalo because Maggie just loves buffaloes. And then Minna was looking around and she found something, but she didn't say anything. She just kind of looked at it, kept looking at it and looked at me. And then she put it down and like walked away. And I was like, did you want something? And she goes, I don't know. It cost a little bit much, but I did like this sweatshirt. And I'm thinking, it's the summertime, chick. You want a sweatshirt? Now, I've been fussing with Minna about this sweatshirt. Like, we let her get it. And it was only like $46. So I'm thinking like she saw it was going to be like $100 or something. It was a $46 pullover sweatshirt. And I was like, you can get the sweatshirt, Minna. But I forgot. Last time Minna was here financially, we weren't doing the best. Now we're doing okay. We're not like, set for life or anything. But we're doing okay to the point where we can go out and do stuff now and not feel guilty about spending money. Because with the way Mr. Coffee's, everything is set up now, everything is fine where we can go out and do stuff and not have to worry about being, flat broke afterwards. So that, and, come to careful planning and, budgeting everything, we've been doing a lot better financially than we have been ever before. So, we're like, you can get the hoodie. And Minna's used to not getting too much because we couldn't afford it. But now that we can, I was just like, get the hoodie, go ahead. And she was like, oh, okay. So she gets the hoodie, and I'm like, no, I'm just going to warn you. It's probably going to be really warm out because it's warm outside. And she's like, all right. As soon as we get to the top of the mountain that the south end is on, the wind kicks up. And she's like, is it always this windy here? Always. Just make sure you hold on to your sister's hand. And she goes, why? I'm like, because she won't be able to walk outside sometimes, and she'll blow away. So we get to the south end. We finally go up to the mountain where, you go see all the sights and everything. And the last time we went to the south end, it kind of sucked. It kind of sucked because nothing was open, so we didn't get to go to the gift shop. And they're really, we saw buffaloes, but, that was about it. We didn't know what the big hype was about the south end because the north end was so lit that we didn't know what was going on at the south end. But to us, it was just there was nothing there. So we were happy to go back to see if we can find something that we didn't possibly see the first time. Glad we did, because we definitely found some new stuff. First thing we see are wild horses, and these were I'm not sure if they're the same horses we saw last time or not, but we definitely seen the wild horses first. We saw the infestation of prairie dogs again, because prairie dogs are all over the place. But I'm sitting there, and we pull up to the next look over point, because there's Skyline Vista and all these other places that you can go look over. And we're looking at all the places, and a lot of them are hiking trails. And I'm like, hiking trail? I ain't going hiking. What the hell? I'm not built for it tough. I'm built like a crafter. I'm not built like somebody that goes out into nature often and likes to walk around. I like to walk. Not on a hiking trail. And then I was like, you know what? You need to just suck it up and shut up. Just go do what you got to do and let these people enjoy their day, and don't ruin it by being a lazy sack. So I was like, all right, I'm not going to ruin the day by being a lazy sack. I'm going to go hiking. Y'all, why didn't I just stay a lazy sack? Why? Lord help me, why? We go look at the first sign, and the south end of the park, we find out is mostly hiking trails. So we're just like, oh, okay. The first sign, I'm like, well, let's go hiking then. We got water and whatever. We got your little backpack. I got my backpack. We can definitely go on a little hiking trip. Now, I'm thinking hiking 20, 30 minutes, and you're in a circle and you go see some stuff. My anxiety just started kicking up because, as you guys know, I'm overly paranoid about things. I'm thinking to myself, what happens if we're hiking and a buffalo comes out of nowhere and attacks us? What am I supposed to do? I can't throw one of my babies at it. And I could probably trip up Mr. Coffee, but more than likely he'd end up tripping me up trying to get away from the buffalo. I'm like, are buffalo dangerous? The buffalo at this park don't seem very aggressive. They don't seem like they're just going to come up at you and get ready to throw hands. But they do have signs posted that say, just because they seem tame, don't mess with them. They ain't the ones. They are not the ones. You will catch those hooves. They are not the ones. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to mess with the buffalo. I don't really want to run into a buffalo, so we're going to have to be real careful. So Mr. Coffee's like, all right. So we go look at the first sign for the hiking trail. Y'all, I about fainted. The thing said 16 miles. I'm like, 16 what? Miles? You mean minutes? It must be minutes. If it's 16 minutes, we got this. And he goes, that definitely says miles. I'm like, no, it doesn't. Maybe it says 16 minutes. And he goes, what? No, it says miles. And I'm like, I ain't walking no damn 16. What the heck? No. No. And I just looked at him. I'm built like a crafter, not like a hiker. I'm sorry. I can't. I just throw my hands up and go sit back in the car. The kids are looking. They're like, okay. And they just shrug their shoulders, and everybody comes back to the car. And he goes, well, let's go see if we can find something a little shorter. Okay, cool. We get to the next sign. He goes, oh, here's another trail. All right, cool. Let's go look at it. 15 miles. 15 miles. Bye. Bye trail. Bye prairie dogs. Bye buffalo. I'm out. Nope, not doing it. Can't do it. Won't do it. You can't make me. No, I'm not doing it. He looks at me, and I look at him, and he looks at me, And I get back in the car because I'm not going on a hiking trail that's 15 miles long, not doing it. No. I don't even like walking from my house to the mailbox. Now I'm going to be like a nature person and go walk. No, I'm lazy. No. I already had on pants. You ain't going to make me have on pants and walk a long distance. You're not doing it. No. I had look cute too. I had my little tights on and everything. I was like, yeah. Because if they find me in these woods, I'm at least going to be dressed cute. Yes. So I'm sitting there. And we get to the next thing, and it's like, it's an easy trail because they're all marked. And the next trail we get to, I didn't even have to look at the sign. I looked out to where the trail was, and there was a stand with a clipboard thing on top of it. Now, when you go hiking and you see the clipboard stand, that's automatically a nope from me, dog. Nope, not doing it. Nope. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you go anywhere and it has a clipboard stand, that's usually for you to sign in. You sign in letting the rangers of the park know that somebody is on that trail. And then at the other end of the trail, you sign out so that they know that you got in and out carefully because it's a huge place. Look, could you imagine Miss Coffee lost in the woods? I'd be trying to make coffee with like hot water and like berries I found off the bush. I would be done caught dysentery and died. Like I'm not built for the wilderness. I'm not trying to throw hands with a buffalo or a ram. Like I was scared to death when we saw those rams the first time because I thought for sure they were going to come into the car and like start ramming the truck. I'm like, no, we just paid for this truck. Don't do it. So like, I was like, no, I ain't built for this. No, can't do it. Sorry. And so he looked at me and I looked at him and I was like, look, if you see that clipboard on any of these trails, you already know my answer is nope, not doing it. Now, I wasn't saying nope to ruin everybody's day, but we have 3 kids. Minna is 14. On these trails, there are no cell phone signals, okay? So that's a nope from her. Also, Orion thought apparently he was going to a business interview because he wore khakis. Why did I let him walk out the house in khakis? Because I don't dress him. He dresses how he wants to dress. He's 9 years old. He should be able to dress himself. He knew where we were going. He wore khakis. He going to a business meeting. He is Jake from State Farm now. So I kept calling him Jake from State Farm. Maggie is Maggie. The last thing I need is for Maggie to see a butterfly, which this happens at home. Maggie sees a butterfly. Ooh, look, a butterfly. And then she starts following and chasing the butterfly. Do I really need to lose my daughter to the wilderness? No, thank you. Maybe another day. Not today. Not doing it. Nope. Can't make me. Won't make me. Not doing it. So it's like, yeah, no. Anytime you see that clipboard, again, I'm not going. And that was a steep trail. And I'm like, steep, meaning either going way up or way down. And either way, I don't want to go either way. I want to go straight ahead. So we kept driving. We, stopped at a couple of places to take pictures. And I made sure to take some pictures for Minna's dad. Because I want him to know that she's okay and that, some of the places that we took her, and she's 14, so she's not going to show him. So I showed him a few pictures of, I had taken of the kids at the thing, whatever. That, and I needed new pictures for the house. So now I have all the pictures I need for the house. I just have to go on Shutterfly and order them. And because they do free prints, I can get, the prints I need for the house, no problem. So yay on that. I can upgrade all the pictures. And since the kids didn't get school pictures this year, I can use the pictures that I took at the thing, because we took a family photo and then we took pictures with the kids and everything else. So like it was like a huge photo shoot day essentially. But then we get to this part and it's a steep uphill, but the trail was like 0.1 miles. First, driving up there, Mr. Coffee's car is sliding and I'm like, we are going to die. We are going to die. Like it's slipping back and the tires couldn't get the traction. And he goes, oh, hold on. Wait a minute, 4-wheel drive. And I'm like, oh dear, here we go. We're going to die, y'all. We're going to die. Mr. Coffee's been waiting to flex the muscles of his truck since the day he's got the freaking truck. So he knocked in a 4-wheel drive and we got up the hill, no problem. That's just driving up the hill, okay? We're not even walking at this point. We're just driving and already struggling. I'm like, this is not going to be good. So we get up to the top there and there's 2 different little mountain tops. There's one on this side and one on this side. So I'm like, all right, cool. We got this. We can do this. We got this. We ain't got this, y'all. Look, I got to the side of it. It's Mr. Coffee, Minna, Orion, Maggie, then me. Okay? we decide we're going to go try to walk up this hill because we want to take a picture of the, you know, the lookout, the look of everything. So we wanted to take a picture. So we're going to climb up to see what's up there. Look, first off, curiosity killed the cat. And if it was because of exercise, I completely understand. Y'all, I got asthma, okay? I got asthma. It's pretty bad, okay? It's pretty bad because I'm sitting there. You ever watch one of those shows where there's a stampede of animals and there's always that fat rhino at the end? Miss Coffee is the fat rhino at the end. I have come to terms with this and I'm okay with it, okay? I'm huffing and puffing. Meanwhile, the kids are all running and jumping and ha 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 ha. Minna's cartwheeling and doing flips. Mr. Coffee's just jogging up the hill like he got two good ankles, knowing that that one ankle was broke last year. And now all of a sudden it's working good, so he's running and jogging up the hill. Meanwhile, I'm in the back. Hold on, I'm coming. Oh God, I'm dying. Somebody. And then after like, I don't know, 3 minutes. Yeah, there's 3 minutes worth of this. Maggie slows down and she goes, "It's okay, Mama. I'll wait for you." What she didn't want to say was that she was tired too. So we're both with our hands on our imaginations, walking up this hill. And she's like, "Mama, how much longer till we get to the top?" I'm like, "I don't even know." And then it went from being like the mountain itself that you're climbing up to it had like makeshift stairs. And I'm like, "Oh God, not the stairs." But they weren't too steep. So like you just step, there's like 6 stairs. And then there was 2 big stairs. And I was like, did they just get tired of making stairs and just made 2 big stairs to finish this off? Like, I'm dying. We finally get to the top. It was well worth it. We took all the pictures and everything. And Mr. Coffee looks across the horizon and he's like, "It's so beautiful, you know." And then he turns around and he goes, "Oh, look, there's another spot." And I'm like, "Another spot? What?" We look over and right across the way from us was another hill that you could climb to go see the scenery. And I'm like, "Look, if we climbed up here, we're going to take pictures from all sides of here first before we go anywhere else." And he's like, "All right, cool." So I made sure to get as many pictures as I could, mostly because I was, you know, I had that thought in my brain that, you know, hey, you live here now. This is where you live. So we get ready. Sorry, my brain. We get ready to get off the hill, and I'm like, y'all gonna have to give me 2 minutes. And I'm sitting there, and with my asthma, I can have like small asthma attacks where if I just need to stop and take a deep breath. So I did that a few times, and I was like, all right, let's go. Going down the hill is great, unless you have a fear. Now, again, I'm overly paranoid about things. Unless you have a fear of essentially your knees locking up or hyperextending your kneecap, and you feel you're gonna fall, then going up and down stuff like that is not great. Where, again, everybody else, Minna's doing cartwheels and flips, Orion and Mr. Coffee are running down, Maggie's running down, and then she sees me back there. Some lady walks past me, and she goes, "We're not built for this." I'm like, "We're not built for tough." And she goes, "It's funny because I'm driving a Ford." I'm like, "Oh my God, apparently you're built for tough. I'm not built for it." And we just keep walking. We finally get down to the end, and they're like, "Let's go on the other one." And they start, like, the kids start running to go to the other one, and I'm like, we gonna die. We just gonna die out here. They're trying to kill me. Why are they? And it's like a straight shot up. It's not like a slant. It's not like a little slope. No, it's a straight shot. All like this. You're walking up, okay? Straight shot up. These folks are trying to kill me, okay? Meanwhile, I'm trying to take pictures, and like we're trying to show Minna all the things. Because we've never taken the kids to anything like this. The closest they've gotten to nature like this, which it wasn't even really nature, is a place called Lake Tobias in Pennsylvania, okay? And it was just essentially a bunch of random animals and camels and all this. Like, there were no camels out here on the south end of the park, but that's what they had at Lake Tobias. So I'm like, you know, that's the closest my kids have come to stuff like this before. So, like, I want all of them to experience it, not just the little ones. So when Minna came, we knew we were coming up here. I just didn't realize I was going to be doing so much walking. Anyways, so we're sitting there, and we go up the second side. It wasn't as bad as the first side because it wasn't as steep. We get up there, we take some more pictures, and we're like, okay. We're driving away, and we find another trail, and it's only like 30 minutes. And I was like, oh, 30 minutes? Not 30 miles, right? And he goes, right, it's 30 minutes. It says right here. And he showed me, it says 30 minutes. And I was like, we can probably do that. Yo, listen, look, again, paranoia, Miss Coffee, all day. So, 1, stay hydrated. Drink that coffee. Delicious. So we get to the trail and we start walking. And I'm thinking, I can do this. This is just straight walking. And of course, in my head, everything has to turn into a song. So in my head, I'm like, and we're walking. All day long, we're walking. Gonna lose some weight, I'm walking. Walking, walking, walking. Walk it out. Just walk it out. Walk it out. And I'm having this little dance, you know, whatever in my head. Meanwhile, the kids are looking at me like, what the hell is wrong with mom? Never mind, it's mom. So we're walking and we're walking. We probably walk like 3 feet into this trail. And I hear, I'm sorry, say what? What was that? It's a rattling noise. Now, that's not really a rattling noise that I'm making. I don't know what kind of noise I'm making, but just imagine it's a rattling noise. And I'm like, did anybody else hear that? Minna looks up from her phone and she's like, no. Maggie and Ryan are just like giggling and they're like, no. Mr. Coffee's like, what are you hearing now? Now take it. Mr. Coffee's used to me being extra paranoid about everything. So he's just kind of like, what did you hear this time? And I was like, look, listen, I heard something. He goes, you didn't hear anything. I'm like, I heard something. He goes, you didn't hear anything. Heard it again. Tss. Mother chicken, tell me I didn't hear something. Y'all, it was a freaking rattlesnake. Look, listen. Look, listen. You would have thought my pants were on fire. I was like, nope, get the out of here. Haul tail. Didn't even grab kids this time. I'm like, no, I'm not grabbing y'all this time because y'all just having the best of times. Meanwhile, mama's over here about to have a heart attack. Y'all have the best of times. I'm out. Peace out. But before I could, you know, completely run away, they had caught up to me because, you know, I don't run fast because the only thing I like to run fast is my mouth. So, my speed walking, as I thought, was jogging. I didn't want to scare the snakes, so, you know, trying to be respectful of the nature, and I was speed walking. But in my mind, I was hauling tail out of that place. As we're walking, we see something that I wasn't expecting to see. A cactus. I was like, I'm sorry, did we happen to make it to Arizona? And he goes, what? I was like, where the hell did this cactus come from? He goes, cactus? We look, sure enough, there's a freaking cactus. There's little cactuses growing. And I'm like, how? Like, cactuses grow here? He goes, I guess. So we're taking pictures of the cactus, which, is it, for one cactus, is it cacti? Write your answer down below. I don't know. You guys help me out. So, we're taking pictures of the cactus, and I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, did you forget that you were running from something? I was like, oh yeah, we gotta get out of here. And he goes, why? I'm like, because that rattlesnake. And he goes, what rattlesnake? You see it? I'm like, no, I don't see it, but I can hear it. And I don't know nothing else in nature that rattles like a rattlesnake. And he goes, well, how do you know they have them out here? Why wouldn't they? Okay, it's nature. Everything is here. I'm like, hold up. Are there bears here? And the more and more I get down that rabbit hole, I'm like, the more and more I'm like trying to get the hell out of there. So we walked probably about 5 minutes in before I was like, nope, not doing this one. But we still overall had a great time showing Minna around and seeing the things that we didn't see last time. And Maggie was just being the mostest. She just wanted to play with her buffalo. That's it. She just wanted to play with her buffaloes. She didn't care about nothing else. She's like, can, you know, little Buff and Buff come with us? I'm like, no, they can't go hiking with us because they might attract an actual buffalo, and I don't want to throw hooves with an actual buffalo. So she was just like, oh, okay. So she had to leave them in the car, which made her incredibly cranky because how come Minna can bring her phone, but she couldn't bring her little buffaloes? And I'm like, that's different. Minna's taking pictures. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think Minna took one picture, probably because I took so many. Anyways, it was just a nice overall day, and then we went afterwards. When we finished, because it was a longer trip than it was the first time we went. So when we finished, we were like, let's go get dinner in the next town over, which was, I believe, Watford. I think we were in Watford. Because they also have Taco Bell, which last time we went to Burger King, but didn't go to Taco Bell. So Mr. Coffee was like, you guys get whatever you want. I want Taco Bell. Minna wanted Burger King. I wanted Burger King. So consistent says Burger King. I don't usually let the little kids pick because once they pick, that means that they don't want it. Because if you've ever had a small child and they go, I want this, and then you give them exactly what they asked for, they go, I don't want it. It takes everything in your power to not have DSS come show up at your house and take your baby away because you choked the life out of them. So, yeah, I don't let the kids pick anymore. So, I was just like, we're going to get Burger King and you can go run over and get Taco Bell. Not necessarily run over like him actually running, but I was like, we'll just drive over and get Taco Bell. And he's like, fine. So we got our stuff and we go over to Taco Bell to get his stuff. Now, the line for Taco Bell is a little long. Not too long, but it's a little long. So we wait in line. Like, there's like 2 cars ahead of us. We wait. We get up to the window. Mr. Coffee orders his stuff. I order some Cinnamon Twist because I love Taco Bell Cinnamon Twist. Who does not like Taco Bell Cinnamon Twist? Which apparently I saw a video of them being made with some kind of noodle. And I was like, so we're just eating noodles? They are delicious. Anyways, so I'm just sitting there and we get through the drive-thru and I got the biggest, fattest burger. Now look, listen, we have McDonald's in town and I don't like McDonald's. Am I the only person that doesn't like McDonald's? Asking for myself. Me personally, I'm a Burger King girl because you can always have it your way at Burger King. I got me the biggest, fattest burger I could and had them add bacon to it because Miss Coffee's favorite thing, bacon all day. I'm a bacon eater. Yes, I eat bacon. I love bacon. So I was just like, yeah, can I get the biggest, fattest burger you got with bacon on it? They just made me walk all this time, all day, and the least they can do is let me get a burger with bacon on it. So I got me a big old fat bacon burger and some Cinnamon Twist. I was happy as a pig in the mud. Mr. Coffee's happy because he got his little tacos. Kids were happy because they got toys and they got more Play-Doh because apparently that's a freaking thing. I swear these chain restaurants that give out toys to kids hate parents' lives because they always make some kind of noise or it's something that can get messy like Play-Doh. And of course you have to give the kids a disclaimer. Please don't eat the Play-Doh. Please. It's Maggie. That enough said. It's Maggie. So I'm trying to make sure I got all my R's. So we get, out of the line of Taco Bell and everybody's eating their food and Mr. Coffee realizes they forgot one of his tacos. He looks at the line. He goes, is it even worth it? I'm like, if you pay for it, you dang on right it's worth it. Who doesn't go back and fuss if they're missing something? Like, well, not fuss necessarily, but who doesn't go back and try to get the stuff that they miss? What is your favorite type of burger? Write that down in the comment section. I love anything with cheese and bacon on it. I don't care. Don't put tomatoes on it. But cheese and bacon, good God, I'll do anything. I'm a dog. I'll roll over. I'll sit. I'll do whatever you want me to do. Just give me a burger with bacon and cheese on it. But I love like the Arby's roast beef. Like, I don't even know what it's called. Classic roast beef sandwich. But I get it with cheddar. Oh my God. Fat girl thoughts. Anyways, so we eat dinner. Mr. Coffee decides he is going to go back to the drive-thru and get his taco. So he went back to the drive-thru. They already had it sitting there waiting. They were, very apologetic, very nice about it. Sorry, that was our mistake here. We made sure to wrap it up for you. They gave us an extra thing of Cinnamon Twist. Excellent customer service. They didn't have to give us the extra Cinnamon Twist, but I was happy to oblige them and eat them. So yeah. Anyways, so we're sitting there and we're like, he's like, is everybody ready to go home? We collected all the trash. Everybody's nice and full and has eaten. The kids are looking tired. So I was like, yes, let's go home. Now, I stayed awake the entire time there and back, I believe. I don't think I went to sleep this time. Usually in the car, by the time we hit the stop sign by our house, I'm asleep. But this time I stayed awake so I could talk to Mr. Coffee, and we were chit-chatting, and the kids were back playing with tablets and phones and whatnot, and we just had a great time. And I'm eating hot tamales. Now, for some reason, whenever we go on trips like this, I always have to have hot tamales. I don't know why. It's just like a comfort thing. It's my fat girl thoughts telling me that I feel better if I just had some hot tamales. Yes, Miss Coffee likes hot and spicy. Do you like hot and spicy? Asking for a friend. So I was eating some hot tamales, and the kids had asked, of course, because you can't have nothing around kids. They're like little roaches. They asked, could they have some hot tamales? I was like, sure. So I gave Maggie some, and I gave Orion some, and I don't know if Minna didn't want any, I don't think. Either that or she was already asleep. But I gave Maggie and Orion some. We're driving down the road, and Orion goes, oh, no. And I'm like, oh, no. Oh, what? I look behind me. He's drooling blood. I'm like, what the I almost, snatched the wheel out of Mr. Coffee's hand, and he almost hit something. We stopped the car and then have him drive to, one of the pull-off spots. And we're, getting all the napkins for Orion because we didn't know what had happened. And Orion goes, my tooth fell out. And I was like, you had a loose tooth? I don't know. Y'all, I am thoroughly convinced that kids say I don't know to drive you insane. how do you not know if you have a loose tooth? I'm like, you brush your teeth. And he's like, I didn't realize it was that loose. I knew it was loose, but I didn't realize it was that loose. And I'm like, oh God. So on top of the hot tamale, which of course they're red, and they're like a gummy candy that has like cinnamon, tastes like Red Hots, but it's a gummy candy that I like. Like Mike and Ike's hot tamales, they're about the same thing. So he's drooling all this stuff. So we're getting him napkins, getting him cleaned up, getting him some water to swish and spit out outside on the ground. And we're like, okay, he has this tooth. And I tell him I have, thanks to the generosity of my subscribers, I have little baggies everywhere. My purse, my pockets, everywhere. And I pulled out one of the little baggies and I was like, here, put your tooth in this baggie so that you can take it home. And he goes, all right, fine. So he puts the tooth in a baggie. We go home. We rinse the tooth off because the tooth was still working. It was still doing its job. By this, I mean the tooth had a piece of hot tamale stuck to it, which is incredibly gross. But we had to get it off. So I had it soaking in hot water to get the candy off the tooth because I wasn't about to touch it. If you don't know anything else about Miss Coffee, I don't like loose teeth and I don't like drool. How did I have 3 kids? It's beyond me, yo. I don't know. But I don't do loose teeth, and especially not loose teeth. Oh my God, there's something in my eye. But I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, we get home. And when we get home, we've been gone for a good 10 hours. Now, my dogs are trained. My dogs are trained that they can be left alone in the house out of their crates for up to 16 hours and not go to the bathroom. Anything after 16 hours and 1 minute, no, they're going to the bathroom. But 16 hours is their max that they have been trained to hold their bladder. So I tell the kids, okay, we're about to get in the house. I can already see the dogs jumping out the window because they can see us pull up, because we usually pull up Mr. Coffee's truck because it doesn't fit in the garage. So it has to sit outside of the house. So the dogs can see when we pull up. So we pulled up and I see the dogs tearing up my blinds. And I'm like, oh, the dogs see us. We get into the house and I'm sitting there going, look, back away from the door. I'm going to open the door. You back away and stand up against the wall. And Minna just kind of looks at me and she's like, why? Okay. All right, Miss Teenager, we're going to show you why. I opened the door and the dogs just flew out. They're jumping and, all excited to see everybody. And Killian's making a fuss because he wants us to know that he's mad at us for leaving him all day. And how dare we take his daddy away from him. And he goes up and is like rubbing all over Mr. Coffee and everything. And we finally get in the house after, picking up the kids and all their stuff. Because essentially they just knocked all the stuff out of, the dogs knocked all the stuff out of the kids' hands. We finally get in the house. Mr. Coffee goes and takes the dogs out. I get Maggie her meds. At this point, it's like 1 a.m. Orion looks at me. He goes, can we have a snack? I'm sorry. Excuse me. What was that? Can you have a snack? No snacky. It's 1 a.m. You're not having a snack. That's not happening. You can have a snack of toothpaste on your toothbrush and go to bed since, you like to lose teeth apparently. And he's just looking at me. He's like, Mom, it's not my fault the tooth fell out. It was ready to come out. I don't care. That's gross. So they brushed their teeth and got ready for bed. And I let them stay up for probably another half hour. Because I was like, 1, it's not like we have anything to do the next day. 2, I need them to run out the rest of this energy that they got, this second wind, so that they can sleep. So they stayed up for a little bit. And then I put them to bed. And then it was just me and Mr. Coffee and Minna. And we stayed up for a while. Minna probably went to bed before us, I think. And then me and Mr. Coffee stayed up chit-chatting, and I was like, I'm glad that Minna was able to enjoy the park because I didn't think she would because she doesn't seem like the nature type. I'm still trying to get a feel for this teenager in the house thing. I don't like it. She looks at me judgingly. She doesn't think my jokes are funny, and it's just like, do you just thrive on like hating me? And she goes, I don't hate you. You're just weird. I'm like, okay, so where do you think you get it from? Weirdness is in our genes. Like, we can't help it. You just embrace it, okay? You just embrace who you are and work it like you've never worked it before, okay? I'm like, I embrace my crazy and look at me now. I'm on YouTube. And she goes, yeah, and you're definitely crazy. And I'm like, don't worry, this is your future. And she's just like, no. But we stayed up and chit-chatted with Minna, and then we went to bed. The next day we wake up, which was of course Sunday, and everybody looks hungover. Like we just went to like a big party or something, like a sorority party or something, and everybody's just hungover from the after effects of the party. We all get up at like noon. We have breakfast at noon, which I guess is brunch. So we had brunch, and then I was like, I'm not doing nothing today. Like, I was so sore and tired from all that hiking. I was like, I am done. I'm sitting here. I didn't wash laundry. I didn't clean my house, and I always do it on Sundays. I was so tired that I couldn't even have an anxiety attack about the fact that my house wasn't getting cleaned on the day that it normally gets cleaned. That's how tired / lazy I was. I'm like, I'm not even gonna bother reacting if my body has an anxiety attack. That's whatever. So we did nothing, and then yesterday I did all the things. I did all the cleaning that I normally do, and I'm sitting here going, hold up. I didn't record my video for the week. Like, I say this at 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, I didn't record my video for the week. Oh God. So I couldn't record it because I didn't have enough light to record it. I don't like recording at night, even though, it's been a long time since I did nighttime whip and chat. But I wanted to do it during the day, so I was like, I'll just get up early tomorrow and do it, because I have to get up early because I have a doctor's appointment on Wednesday. It's for the ophthalmologist for my eye, just to make sure that there wasn't any damage done to my eye when I had the stroke a couple of months back. Because I've been seeing shadowing out the corner of my eye. So they want to check to make sure that it's just, whatever and not something serious. Don't worry, I'll be fine. But, can't believe I almost finished this one section. But I have to go to the doctor, and I'm getting already anxiety about going to the doctor, because the doctor's office nowadays makes me feel like, makes me feel bad about the way I've been living lately. Like, when you go into the doctor's office and they go, have you traveled? Should I be traveling? Because I feel like when you ask me the way you do, I feel like I should be traveling. And when I say no, you're like, wow, what kind of life are you living? So, like, just that initial question, I'm like, am I not living my life to the fullest right now? And then I think back to sitting on the couch an hour prior eating, like, dirty junk food or something. And I was like, nah, I'm living the best life I can live. Forget that. I'm like, nah, I ain't traveling. I mean, besides the Badlands, we haven't been out of the house since my last doctor's appointment. And I can't take the kids in with me, so Mr. Coffee's going to have to take off work to come sit with the kids. Now, I could have Minna babysit them, but I didn't bring her up here to be a babysitter. So I'm not going to let her babysit. Now, she probably won't like the fact that I won't let her babysit, because she feels that she's an adult now. Because I don't remember much about being a teenager. I remember my jobs that I had. Like, I worked at Claire's. I worked at Long John Silver's. I worked at Casual Mel, big and tall stores. But I don't remember how my demeanor was. I remember I had this don't F with me attitude all the time. But that was usually with people in general, not just like my parents. But apparently, according to Pawpaw, I was the same way Minna was, minus the technology. We didn't have... Well, we had cell phones, and I bought my first cell phone, which was a Lumina something. It was a green phone. I thought I was the ish. It had the game Snake on it. You couldn't tell me that wasn't the best phone ever. And then, of course, Mr. Coffee at the time, I think, when I met Mr. Coffee, he had a Razr phone, and he thought he was the ish. And like the big thing was getting like the Bluetooth phone that they had out with the Curie keyboard at the bottom of it. And I was just like, that's a business phone. I don't have a business. I just go to work, so I don't need anything like that. So my dad was telling me, yeah, you were the same way. You didn't want to be bothered. You didn't, whatever. So just let her do her thing. If she wants something or needs something, she'll let you know. And I'm like, okay. So I'm trying not to hover, but I can tell that I'm hovering over poor Minna. She'll get over it. I haven't seen her in a year. Let me hover. You're my baby. Let me hover. So yeah. But everything's going great. Minus our lazy day and trying to figure out what was wrong with my car. Yesterday, I did nothing. I didn't even work on this project. So I'm going to try to work on it as much as I can this week, so that I'm not working on this again on Friday. I would like to start a new project. Even if I did start a new project, I don't even know which one I would start. There's so many good ones. I'll have to figure out something. But yeah, so it was a great week. We don't have many more plans because Mr. Coffee's at work. And we were planning on trying to take the kids swimming, but the public pool obviously is closed. And so is the rec center. So we're probably going to, I'm probably going to take the kids down to the field, and, we're going to go walk the field with the dogs so the dogs can run around and jump and play and chase wild animals, and then me and the kids can go walk down the trails and stuff. But tonight, we're not doing anything. I'm excited. I'm excited to just sit still and do nothing. Like, all my stuff is done. Actually, no. I have a load of laundry that I need to fold, and then I can have the rest of my evening to myself. So, yeah. So, I'm pretty excited. There's nothing like a lazy day. Everybody deserves a nice lazy day every once in a while, where you just do nothing. So, yeah. So, that was our trip to the Badlands. So, it wasn't too horrendous. And I got a really cool blanket out of it. The blanket actually shows the map of the north and west entrance, or north and south entrance, and then it tells you like all the lakes that run through it and everything. It's actually really cool. So yeah, sorry about that. Minute came out. It's been a great time. We're gonna try to enjoy the little bit of time we have with Minna before she goes back to Pennsylvania. But for now, we're just gonna enjoy the time we do have with her if she takes off this sweatshirt. The sweatshirt she got at the south end of the park when we went to the gift shop, she won't take it off. She's like, it's like glued to her at this point. She took a shower the other day, then put it right back on, and she just keeps doing it. And I'm like, it's warm out, and she's like, no, I'm okay. So she keeps wearing it. I'm like, whatever. So real quick before I go, the last thing I want to tell you about Killian. Killian has an abrasion on his nose where he must have rubbed it raw or something, but he has this whole little spot right on the top of his nose that's missing his fur, and it's all scabbed over now. It's starting to heal because the vet told us to put coconut oil on it, but I have to chase him to put the coconut oil on. So essentially it's me trying to hold him, but every once in a while he'll get like Hulk-like strength, and then it's me riding him with a napkin that's covered in like coconut oil, trying to chase him through the house, trying to get the coconut oil on his nose, and then he just tries to eat it all off. So I messaged the vet, and I'm like, hey, is it okay if he licks it off his nose? Because that's all he seems to be doing. She goes, yeah, as long as it essentially gets on there, most of it will get into the wound like it needs to. I'm not sure what happened, or neither is the vet, but they just said, you know, put the coconut oil on it, because the vets here aren't about like taking all your money just because your dog is sick or something's wrong with it. They will tell you, you know, if you could do something for it at home, they'll have you do that, especially now with COVID and everything. So they just told us, you know, put coconut oil on it, let it heal, and he'll be fine. His hair is starting to grow back in certain places where he hasn't been scratching, but in other places it's not, so we have to keep telling him to stop scratching. And if he does not stop scratching his nose, I'm going to put a cone of shame on him and laugh at him as he bumps into everything in the house. So with that said, that is the Killian, you know, drama of the week. He's been essentially having this battle with Minna over the chair that he likes to sit in, because that's the chair that Minna likes to sit in as well. So they've been battling over the chair all week. It's been hilarious to watch. And then when she's not battling with Killian, she's battling with Daisy, because when Killian's not in the chair, Daisy's in the chair. And then when Killian and Daisy are not in the chair, then Maggie's in the chair. Either way, Minna just comes out and she'll look to see who's sitting in the chair this time, and she's just like, will I ever just get this chair? Like, I don't know why that's everybody's favorite chair to sit in, but that's everybody's favorite chair to sit in. So I'm just like, maybe one day you might be able to get that freaking chair. Which is funny, because Killian will sit there and look at her and he won't move, but she has learned that if she taunts him by touching like a chip bag or something and tells him to come here, he'll jump out of the chair. So that's kind of messed up. But that's it for me, folks. That's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble on about our stories. I hope you were able to get some work done. I got quite a bit done, and I'm very, very happy about that, because I haven't been able to work on this as much as I wanted to. So thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel and would like to see more random crazy videos just like this, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified anytime I randomly decide to put up a video. And believe me, it's random. Again, for everything that I've used or shown you in this video, I will try to link it down below for you, including the canvas, the Harbor Freight. I'll try to find a big tray, and the two places I got the wooden drill pins from. Also, the everlasting tips for that. I don't think I used that pin, but that's been kind of sitting over here on the side. So if you've been wondering where I got the stuff from, I will link it down below. This one came from Following the Grain, and then the everlasting tips came from Everlasting Tips on Etsy, and then this one came from Harp's Creations. And like I said, I'll just link everything down below that's in this video, so that in case you're wondering where you can get yours, I'll just show you where to go. But with that said, folks, I must now really bid you adieu. but not before reminding you. Wash your hands, don't touch your face, practice your 6 feet, and always try. Be kind, be courteous, be cool. Bye, guys.